Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Precalculus. In this section, we're going to use our calculator to find inverses of trigonometric ratios. And basically, what you have is you're trying to find what does this -1 mean?
Inverse.
It means the inverse. You mentioned that yesterday, I believe. And so we have to do, to find the inverse, we have a calculator key that does this. Now 13 through 16, we're looking for answer in degrees. And so for that, we can go to our calculator, and we have to make sure our calculator is in what mode for that? Degrees. So I'm going to go down here and change that to degrees. And I want to come back here, and it's inverse sine of 0.36. So this is the answer to the question, what angle produces a sine of 0.362, right? Oh, 362, I missed that. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. 0.362, I don't know what's going on here. 0.362, there we go, that looks good now, right? So if we go to like 2 decimal places, we would say that would be 21.22 degrees, right? So our answer to this question is 21.22 degrees. And so your domain or your for this function, you're going to have your answers, your output values, be between -90 to 90 degrees for sine. And here's one thing that did you notice the notation on 14 is different? When you see this arc sine, that means inverse sine. So that's all that means.
So it's the same thing as one.
Yeah, it's the same type of probe. So arc sine is a different notation for inverse sine. That's all it is. So you should be able to go through and knock those off in a hurry. And then all you have that, and then you have for problems 17 through 20, you have the same thing but in radians. So let's go through this pretty quickly here. Now one thing in this exercise set that they don't have, that they could possibly do, you can have an inverse secant too. But that's not something you're expected to have on your calculator. So let's go to get some people to help me with these answers today. A few of them anyway. Okay. Number 14. Do I have to do that? I don't have to do it, do I? Yeah, I knocked myself off because I already did number 13. I shouldn't have to do that anymore. Justin. Okay, Justin, what did you get for this?
Oh, wait, not 14. Oh. I got 42.07 degrees.
0.07 degrees. And that's going to be about right because it's going to be a little less than 45. 45 would be inverse sine of point. Let's see. Square root of 2 over 2 Yeah, I forget exactly what that is. But yeah, that's pretty close, it'll be a little bit higher. No, square root of 2 over 2, that's gonna be 0.707. So yeah, 0.707 would be exactly 45 degrees, so that looks right. Okay. So, thank you, Justin. And then, next we have our inverse tangent of negative 12.5. I have a guess that's going to be like negative 80 something degrees. That's my guess. Let's just call it a guess. And if I'm right, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So negative 80 something degrees is what I predict for number 15. Okay, Elizabeth, what'd you get for this one?
I got a negative 85.43 degrees.
Okay, did I predict there would be negative 80 something degrees? Did I predict that? Okay. What was the basis of my prediction, do you think? How did I predict that? I will show you here. And the reason I'm going to show you is just I want to get you to take advantage of just kind of ways of thinking of things. What happens is that when you have a tangent is like rise over run. And so what that means to me, it's like if you have a line with a slope of negative 12.5. So that's your slope. So it would be, the equations would be y equals negative 12.5x. That's what it's going to be. So I know that if this 0 degrees here and this down here is negative 90 degrees, I know it's going to be negative, but really close to negative 90. So really, it's just my understanding of how these equations work. Yes?
I put in my calculator.
Oh, really? Huh. One thing you got to be careful about here is you got to be using this key over here. Yeah. So that's probably it.
I put the degrees down to
Okay, next. And Riley, I put your paper on there for some work that you missed the last couple days. I hope you're okay. Are you okay? Very good. Now we have the last one in this set, the inverse cosine. That's going to be Jana. All right, Jana, this is you. You said 103.30 degrees. Does that answer make sense? Yeah, because you got your cosine negative over here, right? Your cosine is negative going this way and positive going this way. And so you're going to have a cosine of negative. So on the unit circle, it's going to look something like this. So right here, where cosine is negative 0.23, we're saying this angle here is going to be this theta is going to be 103.3 degrees, okay? So that's really what we're looking at. And that brings us to the next piece of this exercise set, which is really the same thing, except we are looking at radians instead of you're answering radians instead of degrees. And so this is one where you get to change your calculator setting, right? You can use that on that one, okay? All right. So I want to go ahead and if, did you change that? Are you ready for me to choose somebody for this one too? Let's do that. Okay, good. We have one for everybody. It's going to be Robert. Okay, Robert, what'd you get for this one? 1.17.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to be radians. Okay, 1.17 radians. Okay. Next we have problem 18. We have it's going to be now this one here. You have a tangent, so you're going to be it's going to be over 1 radian. It's going to be 1 point something radians, I predict. Let's see if that's right. Maybe 1.5. I don't know. All right, what'd you get for this, Becky?
1.53 radians.
1.53 radians.
That's what you do.
Okay, what I want you to do, when you need to do that, that's fine. I'm fine with you doing that.
I'm sorry.
But
I didn't know.
Right.
I forgot.
yeah, and how many degrees are in a radian, approximately? 57. A little over 57. Good job. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Forgive me.
Okay. I'll put I over 1, 2. All right, good. Let's think of who I owe. Next. Okay. It's going to be, we know it's going to be one of these two in a minute. Okay, it's for Karina. Okay. What'd you get for this? Negative 0.4? 0.480? 0.48 radians. So negative, that's negative 0.48 radians. Okay? And lastly, we have Riley. And you should get like 2 point something or 3 point something radians, I guess. I'm just guessing. What'd you get for that, Riley?
I got 2.593 radians.
2.593 radians. And why did I know that? Because I know that negative 1, cosine of negative 1 is how many radians? Pi radians. Okay, so, appreciate that. We're going to be working some exercises for the remainder of class time on special right triangles. I have that for you to do here shortly. You have your paper, right? Have you put in the class videos for that or anything?
Outside town.
But you know where to find it, don't you? And then it's sending you the words on it too. Watch that. Maybe like a village style. Anyway. What happens is, they have the way they're stenciled in, is the stenciling is not perfect on that. So they don't come out really neatly. Sometimes you have to be careful about it. So that's it. Just, when they crease, they have to press down, and they're just not, they don't, it isn't a perfect job they've done. So they don't come off. Okay. Thank you for that. Let's get to the next thing we're looking at today. Which is going to be this one right here. Okay, this exercise set is called manipulating special right triangles.
We give this to you?
Pardon me?
We give this to you?
Yes, you give me, well, you give me all these are done, well, just wait. That's a pretty easy exercise set so far today.
Yes.
But basically, we're doing today on the calculator what we did without a calculator yesterday. Essentially. Using the, and so now we're back to the special right triangles here with this. I'll show you kind of how it works, just a little bit. It's one of these exercises you should be able just to go through and do. And I'll show you how the thing works. And what it is, there's sort of a word puzzle on the thing. Have you seen sheets like that before?
Yes.
That's what this is. So you come right here, and they give you the format of things we've talked about. This looks familiar, right? We've talked about this in class several times, haven't we? And you come down here, and then they give you an example problem of what these are, these sides. So example, find the missing sides, leave in radical form, or simplest radical form. Since they're right triangles, you can check your answer using Pythagorean theorem. So find the missing sides of each triangle, check your answer using Pythagorean theorem. So here we are. So this is a special right triangle, and I know that's the short side, that's going to be equal to x. And I know this is going to be 2x, or 12, right? And this side is going to be 6 times square root of 3. And then what you do is you come down to, when you work that out, you see I get this right. So we have 12 and square root of 3. So we come down here, and so you just look for these 12 and 6 square root of 3. So where is 6 square root of 2?
12 is on the
12 is here, right? 12 and 6 square root of 3 should be someplace. Here it is. So those are the two letters you've accumulated through problem 1. And then you go and you rack up all the other letters, and then you have an answer based on what these letters in order are. Does that make sense? Okay.
How do you know what order to put them in?
It'll be a consecutive order. What you'll do as you fill these out and have them all filled out, you're gonna see the letters appear that you write down in order. And it becomes your answer. Like if the first word we come across is of, for example, the first two letters are of, we would put of right here. Of course, that's not going to be our answer, and then we'll write out the whole thing. So work through those, and then it's going to become apparent what it is as you proceed through that.
So since for number 1, the letters are U and H?
Yes.
Then you put those in the first 2 blanks?
No, you'll fill it all out first,
What?
and then you'll take the letters.
Oh,
Then you'll take the letters and
I
write
get
them.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's understanding how the thing works. And so that's,
Just circle the letters as you find them, and then...
Yeah, I'll do-
It'll all be in order by the time you...
yeah, I'll do the next two. So we look at,
What did I use there multiple times? Circle it twice.
so here we have 9. Over here, this is going to be x equals x, and this over here is going to be x squared of 2, so we have 9 times square root of 2. So 9 and 9 square root of 2 are the additional ones we go to here. So 9, well here's 9, right? And 9 and 9 square root of 2. So it could actually be of when you finish it, because or it might be on or of. That actually might be the first word here after you get that done. But we know our first letter is going to be what?
Oh.
O, because that's the only possibility we have, right? No, it says use the remaining letters. I lied to you. So it's like you're gonna cross these out, and then the remaining letters are gonna be your answer. Does that make sense now?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, sorry for that. So these will be canceled out here. Okay. Then I'll just leave it there.